You want answers?
I think I'm entitled to.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Well, hello, everyone. We're blasting out of the bunker. That's right. It is Monday. It is early. And folks, I've got an interesting, important, crazy video for you. Changing up a little bit the way we're doing things every morning, trying to make it interesting for you as we consider the world we face now, the world of SHTF. It was an awesome, awesome Sunday Night Live. And as I drive to my nail-pounding, wonderful day, I consider and continue to consider the possibilities, the SHTF reality that we all face. Zero dark 30, folks. Right, I finished up last night after 8 o'clock with you guys, hit the rack, woke up, and it's go time. Right up here, mentally. Shit has hit the fan. It is a nasty deal. Now, last night I made a bold prediction. And boy, have we, you and I, made bold predictions in the past, haven't we? Yeah, we really have. Bold prediction. I said, hey, this week, we may even see the arrest of President Trump. Now, lo and behold, I got up early this morning, zero dark 30 plus 5. And I checked the newsreel to see what was happening, what had happened overnight. And after, or maybe even during the broadcast last night, the New York Times asked the question, will Trump be arrested? This, folks, is a wet dream for the leftists, for the socialists, for the communists, for the anti-constitutional authoritarian scum in the government. Yeah, truly, folks, they hate Trump. Never before in my life could I have imagined there would be so much hatred and animosity for a president, a political figure. It is unbelievable how much anger, hatred, vitriol these people have. It is off the hook. Trump derangement syndrome was given the nickname for this phenomena years ago. And even after he's left the White House, he is still hated with so much that it's hard to fathom. You know, we've got a midterm campaign coming up, and they won't let it go. Right? They've even talked about impeaching President Trump after his presidency for a third time. They're doing everything they can to marginalize him and make him sound like he is crazy, like he's a problem, like he's actually a threat. It is unbelievable, folks, with the number of socialists and communists who are in the Pentagon. Right? Do you think that for a second, if there was any chance at all of a military coup, that Trump would have that much influence over the few remaining patriots wearing the uniform of the armed services? Do you think that there's enough of them to actually pull off a coup d'etat, to take over the government? That's what they want us to believe, that something like that is possible. That Trump had really nuclear documents in Mar-a-Lago in his safe. What, like he had the football, the nuclear codes, and he could launch? These people are clearly, folks, beyond deranged. Or could it just be that they are so wrought with fear, so distraught, so crazed, right? Or have they committed crimes so egregious, folks, that what we think and know already and what we fear could be their reality? Could it be that it's so bad that they cannot tolerate the idea of Trump being in office? Right? That if he were to come back into power and authority, that they could be threatened. I believe so. I believe they're that afraid of the man. Right? Now, he's not going to be president in 2022 if the Democrats lose and the Republicans regain control of the House of Representatives and the Senate. Oh, there's fear that he could become Speaker of the House somehow, even though he's not up for election. But there's fear, folks, real fear that a Republican Congress and a Republican Senate could be in place prior to a 2024 run and a return of Trump to DC. The fucking drama is incredible in the minds of these people, right? I am just hoping and praying, jeez, hoping and praying, right, for one of the houses of Congress, one of the bicameral buildings, right, either the Senate or the House, becomes Republican to protect this republic from crumbling absolutely under socialist control. Folks, they fear Trump like you can't imagine, right? 2 impeachments. They want to impeach a president who's not even in office. They use the FBI, politicize it even greater, and use it to attack a potential political ally. What's their fear, folks? What crimes have they committed that they so fear being exposed and talked about, that they so fear losing their control? Now, even if Trump were to return to the White House, folks, he won't own the military. He won't own the FBI. He won't own the CIA or the IRS or the ATF or any other alphabet soup agency, right? We watched for 4 years as Trump was stonewalled and essentially politically castrated, right? Because he had no power. I mean, he was powerful and he had power, but he didn't have absolute dictatorial control and power. He couldn't even send National Guard troops to cities and states if he wanted to. He offered it, but it was rejected. Rejected. Absolutely rejected by the Democrat governors and mayors in many towns, many cities. It was incredible to watch how powerless he was. Yet we get a Democrat in office and he destroys our energy system. He destroys the military. He destroys our economy. And he destroys hope. That, my friends, brethren, is destruction and the destructive power of communism and socialism, because it doesn't care. So this week, folks, my prediction, yes, they're calling for his arrest. They're trying to say, even the DNI, Director of National Intelligence, is doing a threat or a damage assessment on the papers that Trump had at his Mar-a-Lago estate. Hey, how about this? How about what threat Hunter Biden is and Joe Biden to the United States of America because of the compromised position they put our leadership in? Trump has no power and authority right now, yet they're trying to make it sound like he is a threat. Folks, the threat is in Washington, D.C. Literally, the threat is in Washington, D.C. And who controls them in Washington, D.C.? That's the real threat. Who has the power right now? Who controls the money system? Who controls the military? Who controls our energy? Who controls the military, right? Leadership, both foreign and domestic. And I think that makes a big difference, folks. You know, who is directing the military in Syria as well as Ukraine? And what's happening down in the South China Sea between Taiwan and China? That's where the power is. That's where the threat is. Trump doesn't have any control, but they're going to try and arrest him. Believe me, they're putting everything they can out there to try and convince the American people that that threat is justifiable, that threat, right, is real. And so the arrest must take place to save democracy, they'll say. There's never been a greater threat to democracy. I don't want democracy. I want a constitutional republic. You guys know. You know that. We all know that. Who else are they going after, folks? Marge Taylor Greene, Big Marge, a single congresswoman. She's not up for election for the presidency. She is one congressman out of over 400 Why are they trying to have her arrested? Why are they trying to have her shot? Twice, folks, twice, not once, but twice, swatted last week, having the police show up in the middle of the night at a congresswoman's house, armed to the teeth, in SWAT gear, ready to shoot any threat. It's because they're afraid, folks. Fear causes serious problems. The fearful amongst us in power. Why are they afraid? They're afraid of losing their power. That's not enough to cause this type of reaction, because they know what they are doing is wrong. They're destroying America. They are traitors. They are criminals, folks. They are traitors and they're criminals, not just traitors to their oaths and traitors to the Constitution, but traitors to you and I, the people, to humanity itself. That's what they're traitors to. And they know their crimes are so great that they feel that anyone who would question them, expose them, could result in their ruination. And so, in order to stop someone from arresting them, they must arrest that person. Shit is going to get really nasty, folks. It's not just going to be protests and riots on the street. It's going to be all out fear campaign, terror, false flags. And the greatest amongst those, and I shouldn't call it the greatest, but one of the most effective would be to remove President Trump from authority. Not constitutional authority, folks. Not removing him from office, removing him from the public eye and criminalizing the man so that he cannot do anything. Right? That is the absolute greatest attack on our freedoms and liberties, is just that. To remove someone from the position of having any influence. They did it socially with Twitter by removing President Trump from Twitter. They did it, shall we say, by having some election shenanigans take place. They harmed Trump's ability to do anything by having him removed from office. And not in a very nice way. And you know what I'm talking about. And now, before he can get back into office, before he can help others get into office, they're attacking him even more. That is some serious fear, folks. And fear makes people act in crazy ways. And people with crazy power acting in crazy ways based on fear will do anything, and I mean anything, to maintain their power. We could see things that make what happened in Nazi Germany pale in comparison. The Crystal Night, the Night of the Long Knives. We could see Trump arrested, Marge Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz, Boebert, Senator Paul, Senator Cotton. We could see many, many, many people arrested, as well as former military officers, in the middle of the night in order to scare the American people into submission. That's what they want to do, folks. Make you believe that there was a coup, an attempt, a conspiracy out there so great that it involved the president, Trump, and members and foreign and former members of the military and Congress, that there was a conspiracy to take over our country so great. They could come up with that shit. They could make it up. And it's not that it has to be real. It just has to be done. It doesn't have to be the truth. There just has to be the claim that it was necessary to save the democracy, they'll say. Folks, we don't have democracy. Democracy is mob rule, literally, rule of the people. And the people in charge have demonstrated and proven to me, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that they have no more legitimacy, or shall I say, credibility than that of an angry, deluded, psychotic mob. That is Washington, D.C., and you throw on top of it billions and trillions of dollars in backing, badges, and a whole lot of guns. And that is their power, folks, along with the propaganda wing, the mainstream media, and their desire to see this happen. the great lies that they want to tell. Oh, they would love to tell the great lies about Trump, wouldn't they? About the Republicans, about you, the deplorables, me, us, right? What are we to them? We're a threat. We're deplorable. And because we want freedom and liberty, because we want the rule of law, because we want our Constitution, because our culture, traditions, and history conflict with their notions and beliefs and desires, that's where we're at. Folks, this is how I consider the world, based on not a fantasy or a nightmare, but on the reality that's unfolding in front of us. Trump arrested? I'll be shocked, but I won't be surprised. Chance favors the prepared mind. Godspeed to you, and I'll be back this afternoon. It'll be 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll go live and talk about this if you wish, and more, because it'll be the Q&A, and it'll be me and you on the preparedmind.club and subscribestar.com. Thank you again for all your support and keeping the hope for freedom and liberty alive. Thank you for supporting the channel.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.